That would mean you would need both laser and regular turrets and missiles. Fire a missile or two at the reflective armor, shoot it a couple of times with Gatling cannon or Gatling turret to break the reflective coating or whatever, and then from there, a little bit of lag, and then from there your lasers can shoot through it. But that would keep you from having only energy weapons, um, and keep you from only having one kind of armor. So, alright, so I decided that I'm going to take a break here from this mining. I'm going to go and see how much I got. And I hide the empty and view here. So I totally filled up my large cargo container here and my connector. So was I still picking stuff up? If I go into my system inventories, you'll see here each of the drills can store 10,125 L. I suppose that's liters, but here we're talking solids, not liquids, which is actually more than my large cargo container. So honestly, you don't need a cargo container when you've got drills, but it certainly helps. It's kind of like on my grinding ship. My grinder can the 3 grinders all have more storage than a large container. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and just drill my way through here. And I'm going to go into first person here just so I can see when I'm going to hit it. And then let's just go ahead and go pretty much straight through here. I've pretty much got the hole already, so let's go and we're just going to drill right through here to get inside our base. Oh, there's another dangerous piece there. Really got to watch out for those. The smaller they are, the harder they are to see, and the more dangerous they are. If you really wanted to make some type of defensive network, if you could figure out how to drill out an entrance to your base and leave those little pieces all over the place, no enemy ship would ever be able to get inside your base. Not until they rammed it fast enough to destroy it. So now the question is, do I want to put all of this ore in my HQ or my satellite? Well, my HQ over here has a lot more refineries and arc furnaces, so I'm going to go and put it over here. And so I'm going to go ahead and fly down over here. Now, remember I showed you the how the remote control works with the cameras. Well, you don't need them. They're useful not only for remote control. If I go into my G here, I've got 2 different cameras, and I thought I had named them front and back. So let me go and drag it down here and choose view. So now if I hit the 9 key, I'm viewing my rear camera, and I can see when I'm lined up with this connector. For me, I usually try to aim my targeting reticule right on that bottom indicator light there, and then I just back up and just kind of try to keep it right there. And you just have to remember that of course your controls are reversed, and then as I get closer you'll see it go yellow, and then I can lock it in. So cameras are definitely useful. They're actually kind of fun as well. So you'll see here I actually have 6 arc furnaces, but not all of them grabbed material. So let me go ahead and see what kind of ore I also have that's not in there. I've got some stone and some gold. Well, an arc furnace does not process stone or gold. So my arc furnaces are kind of stuck there. I did get a little bit of cobalt, not a whole lot though. I'm just going to drag that down there. So I don't really need to balance them out too much right now. when I come back, I'll worry about that with another load. So now if I go into the refinery, I can go ahead and throw the gold in there. And I've got 168,000 stone. Stone turns into gravel. Gravel right now is only really used for reactor components, unless you have a mod that allows you to make concrete blocks, which is something that I think we're going to add. But until then, I'm just going to toss my stone, and I'll show you how I do that. It's kind of a real pain in the butt, but you know, it kind of needs to be done. So now what I'm going to do is, oh, excuse me. Let's go ahead and go back down here, and you can see here where I'm digging through. Not too bad. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling in that area, but I also need to tear down the old one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave the mole right here, and I'm going to go grab a different ship. I think I'm going to grab my my welder first. I'll weld in place at least some, I'll at least put the framing in for the new stuff, and I'll weld up as much as I can. And then I will go and I will grind the old stuff down. So you see here, again, this is turned off. And the reason why I like to turn my ships off is not because I'm worried about the power usage. I put so much fuel in, this thing has 128 days to just sit here and do nothing. But one of the reasons why I turn them off is so that people can't see where my ships are. Honestly, they don't need to know where my ships are. I've got highway to the danger zone, which is basically a warning, don't come here or you're going to get killed by my turrets. And they don't need to know that I've got ships floating around. So what I want to do is I want to see how much I've got. Oh, look at that. I've got some other resources in here, so definitely want to get those put away. And then I want to grab some more steel plates. I did queue up at least 1,000 over here previously, and I believe I had more queued up. This one here, I don't believe I have a rear camera on. No, I know I don't, because this one here is the ship that recently blew up, and I had to replace the connector and some of the other components internally. So let's go there. Now we're linked up. We're going to hit that. And I want to go to a refinery, and these refineries are not set to auto pull. I could do that, but then they would have grabbed all of that stone, that 120-some thousand stone, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and look at where I have ore, which would be here, and I'm going to start dumping this into my refineries. Now, uranium takes a long time to process. It's like the longest processing of all the different ores. So there, I've got those put away now. I could transfer some of the stuff back in, but I'm not worried about that. So what I'm going to do is let's find out where we've got some steel plates. So here, because it's white, this is the vehicle or station that I'm currently in. So I want to grab these steel plates. You can see there's like 23,000 there. So I've got a lot of plates because I've been building them. That's about all I need at this point. So what I'm going to do is leave everything else there. And you know what? While I was connected, I probably should have checked their production to see what they were doing. But I'll just go in here and check the production. So this thing is still waiting to do ammo, and it just needs some magnesium. I did drop a little bit of magnesium in there. There should be plenty of nickel. But sometimes what will happen is your assembler will fill up with like 50,000 iron or something, and so it'll cause some problems. So it's not full. If I were to look in here, I would see that magnesium, the only magnesium is what's in the refinery right now. So as this gets processed, the assembler will pick it up and it will make more of the ammo containers that I want. So with that, let's go ahead and go down to start getting this placed. and moving that wall out. Now you'll see sometimes with your ship you'll see that center of mass, and when you're flying it kind of fluctuates and it can be kind of annoying. So you just go into your info and turn off the show center of mass. Boom, it's gone. Everybody's happy and it looks really cool. So now we're going to come over to here, and there is our gunflower, and maybe I'll go ahead and I'll put the armor on it so you can see how the gunflower works. Sure, let's go ahead and do that first. Why? Because it's awesome. So what I'm going to do, let me hop out of my ship, and let me grab, okay, I've got plenty of steel plates. So let me show you how the gunflower works. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the heavy armor on this because it's outside. Inside my base, I will use maybe light armor. It also depends on how many resources I have. The amount of resources I have when I build it definitely has an effect on how I build it. Okay, so we've got everything there, and then we're going to also put this around here because it looks darn cool. Okay, so let's see. The next thing is going to be to put these on. Now, these slopes, I want to attach them to the top of the piston, which is this right here, the top piston part. If you don't attach it there, then it's not going to turn properly. And so you'll see here that there's just a little bit of a gap there, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to teach you how I make my gunflower, and then I'm going to show you why it's absolutely awesome. So we also want these heavy corners here, and we're just going to drop those in there. I originally came up with this design, I don't know, probably within a couple of weeks of learning how to play this game. Oh, and then I'm also going to want the inverted ones here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build what's here. Where is my welder? So you'll see that you definitely want antennas on your ships. It definitely makes them easier to find. And, you know, obviously if you're going to do any type of remote control, you need it. So let me just come on down here, and again, you can see here with the weapons, we've got the welder. Now I just run in here, and just like the drill, I've got storage, and in that storage is all of those plates. So as I use the welder, it's going to take the plates from my inventory, and I think we had a little bit of lag there. Interesting. So the purpose of the gunflower is to not only have some pretty heavy armaments. Oh, and I wanted these to be black. I'll change them over. I'll show you guys how to change the colors. So you don't, if you use a color that's not the color you meant to use when you placed your block, you can use the middle mouse button, also known as the wheel. If you press down, it's also a button. You can use that to change the color, and you've actually got a color picker. Let me go and hop out here. So you've got, if you hit P, you've got this color picker, which has all different colors that you can make, or choose from, or make yourself. So like here, this is the light brown or light black, gray, I guess you could say. If I want to change it, I just need an active block, and then I change the color of that active block. So let's say black. Now if I go over to here and hold down that middle mouse button, or just press it, it'll change the color of the block. So if you make a mistake, you do not have to grind down 150 steel plates and then change the color of it. I know how much of a pain that is, because I have totally done it. And I was just like, oh no. But no, it's not that bad.